Hey, welcome to Ike's Vintage Tech. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 3DFX Voodoo5 5500 video card and putting it into my vintage gaming PC and just seeing how well it does and if it's really worth all the hype. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. If you like seeing old hardware like this still being put to use today, please consider subscribing. You might be wondering why I have two video cards on the desk here, this one specifically being a much more capable NVIDIA Quadro 4 9080 XGL. Why am I not using this in my system? Well, the problems I had with it when I was running XP is that I was having OpenGL errors, it wouldn't play all the games I wanted to play, and I was digging for drivers, I couldn't find the magic recipe that I needed to get everything running, so I decided to go a little back in time. I put Windows ME back on here, which isn't a mistake edition anymore. We've had decades worth of updates, years worth of updates that are decades old, but the system works great. Now, why did I choose Windows ME over Windows 98 SE, for instance? The USB support right out of the box is there. You have a little bit of more updates beyond what 98 SE received, and it just runs a little smoother, newer drivers, the whole nine yards. So that's why I'm going with Windows ME on this. I went to Windows Update Restored and got all the updates that they had in their catalog put on this thing. It took a long time, like 18 reboots for individual updates. Everything ran better once it was installed. When I had XP on this thing, I was having an issue where it would just randomly freeze up. It would lock up. I didn't know if it was, something bad on the motherboard, problem with the RAM, problem with the CPU. There's a lot of stuff that you got to troubleshoot when you're getting random freezing. And when I put ME back on there, all those problems went away. Whatever struggles it had, maybe I shouldn't have updated to the latest service pack of XP. I've seen that has been an issue for some people. I'm just happy that it's running great with Windows ME, and I'm going to stick with that. Now, I got the video card installed. I'm going to put it back in there. I took it out for the beginning of the video here. We're going to see how it runs with some of my favorite games of the era. I've got Unreal Tournament on here and Serious Sam, both great games for this particular video card. Let's take a look. All right, I got everything installed. The only modification I had to make to get this thing installed was I had to add a Y adapter to one of my power supply cables, just because it does need a 4-pin Molex to get connected. Once that is done, we are ready to power up. Let's take a look. Now, one thing I did upgrade on the channel is I finally got an Elgato. No more shaky desk camera recording my monitor. So, progress. Here we go. Here's the Gateway boot up screen. Lovely cow box. We all love to see it. I miss the old cow boxes. I'm really hoping the sound is coming through proper. I think I connected everything. All right, here we are at Windows ME. I did change the updater to use Windows Update Restored. I'll link that below. If you need free AOL for a limited time offer, the link does not work. I tried it. I have my games on here. I've got a couple games on here. Quake, Half-Life, Serious Sam, Unreal Tournament, all legit copies, swear. I did own them in the past. I still have the discs somewhere, so I don't feel guilty about that. I do use Daemon tools to mount the devices. That makes it very useful. This little thing right here, I have network time. I installed this just so that my time can actually get a proper network time. Not that it really matters too much unless you're doing LAN party stuff, but even then you should be fine. I just like to have proper time on my system. And of course, Sound Blaster Live, all the connections on that, all the drivers are set up. If you look at my settings here, I am in 1920 by 1080. I do have an HD monitor hooked up to this thing. Now, I do have VGA output going through the Elgato, so there's a couple millisecond lag I'm sure there's going to be. I am using a StarTech VGA to HDMI adapter. I'll link that below too. Very, very convenient little device to get your VGA connections connected to something modern. If you don't have a CRT, God help you, if you don't have a CRT, that makes it very convenient to get your old computers, your old video outputs to a modern system. In this case, I'm using an Elgato. I'm able to copy the signal and display it on my PC across the room here. That's giving me the full screen that I can record here without losing any signal there. So this is a great little tool. It wasn't that expensive. I don't know why I didn't buy it earlier. So if we also go up here and go to properties, check out device manager, all the drivers are installed except my modem because I'm not dialing out, and I'm probably going to remove it to free up a PCI slot anyways. Not really concerned about that. I do have a USB FireWire card I want to put in there just to give the thing USB 2.0. That'll be very useful for transferring larger files over a thumb drive because the system only came with USB 1, obviously, based on its age. The computer was made in the year 2000, as is the video card. That's the other reason I'm switching out from this. This is a newer video card. It's 8X AGP, 128 mega RAM on board, I believe. And it is a great card. It's just not period specific. It's from about 2004, if I had to guess. I could probably look it up. But it's not the period specific card I want in this thing. When I was running Windows XP and this card together, I was getting a lot of errors trying to just run basic games. It should run fine. So that is why I'm going with this card. Now this card was an interesting find. I was digging through a box of old PCI cards and I see this old AGP card. I'm like, that looks different. You know, it looks a little interesting. I take a little closer look. I see the 3DFX silk screen and I'm like, ooh, might have hit a jackpot. And I did. It was the, like I said, the AGP version of the Voodoo5 5500. It was in a box of cards just loosely strewn about, so I was definitely worried about this thing not working at all. The only thing I'm going to have to replace on it is the noisy fan. With the case side on, the computer facing away from me, it's not terrible. It's not super loud. I do want to get a small Noctua fan and just wire that in. Even quieter performance, and overall, I'm very happy with this. I'm going to show you why I'm happy with it. Let's go ahead and start Unreal Tournament. Find my programs here, Unreal Tournament, and play. Back in 2000, I couldn't afford a $300 video card. I could afford an $80 video card, you know, somewhere around that budget, but I wasn't spending $300 on a video card at that time. I was 20, 21 years old, and I was working for about $9.25 an hour, so that's a couple days work, almost a week's work for a video card, and you know, you do the math, it's not going to happen when you're that age. You have other stuff to spend your money on, and yeah, that that is why I didn't go with it. But if you look at the graphics here, this is just great graphics that I would have done anything for back then aside from spending $300. So let's go ahead, get in the game. I'm going to resume a save tournament. I played for a little bit here just to get, you know, out of the tutorial basically so I could screen record it. And this is great. I'm just going to go through all the quick little bits here, and I do not have my sound on. Oh, whoops. I forgot that you can float around the map here and just kind of look through everything before you hit start, if you want to get an idea what the map looks like. All right, gonna go ahead and hit the fire button and see how I can play. I don't have any audio. It's all going into the computer, so let's hope I don't completely suck, because I am not going to be able to tell where people are coming from or if I'm even being shot at until it happens. Whoop. I suck, apparently. I suck a lot. Ah, I suck. Oh my god, what the hell? That wasn't good. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Yeah, I really suck. I have not played in quite a while. I'm going to use any excuse I can. Here we go, I got weapons, I got more ammo. Gotcha. Yep, I suck. Hey, that was my gun. Whew. This is a rough one. Let's see if I can find a better gun or anything. Oop. Holy crap, I did it. Get it again. Let's get some health. Ooh, I got backed into a corner. Got 2 guns. That's an improvement. Got a better gun. There we go. That's something. But yeah, if you look at the video quality here, the gameplay, it's... The only reason I'm losing is because I just suck. It's got nothing to do... Did I win? Okay, apparently I won. That was horrible to watch. I would have not done... I think I didn't do great, but I won. So that's that. I am going to say not having audio to myself that I can't hear, that's a little different. I'm going to have to figure something out for that. Maybe get a second audio output into headphones. Not important, making a video. So if I were to do this just playing myself, obviously speakers, all that stuff would be a little different. I like this. I love the video quality. Let's just play another match. I'm not really going to care if I do good or bad. I just want to see the graphics because this is something else. This is... Oh, what am I doing here? Oh, I got a rocket launcher. Not paying attention to the weapons I got. So... Oop, overkill. Oh, crap. Where'd you go? Get some health. Another gun. Oh, shoot. Whoops. Alright, let's see what I can do here. Oh boy. Not good. Whoops, a daisy. Yeah, I am very happy with the performance. Oh! Did it. Yeah, I am very happy with the performance here. This is great gameplay. I would have killed for this back in the day. This is just something that... Yeah. The only reason I'm losing is because I suck. So, look at that. I am just getting chopped up. There we go. Let's go ahead and exit out of here. That was too much fun. I'm going to have to cut some of this because I'm getting too into it and not filming a video. So, let us try the other game I really enjoyed for the time, Serious Sam. I do have to unmount this here. So we're going to unmount all drives. Go ahead and mount a new one, this time Serious Sam. And basically what I'm doing here, because what games did back then, aside from the serial key, is they checked to see if you had a drive in the CD. This being a virtual drive, the CD checker is, it's fooled into thinking that you actually have a CD in the drive and you're good to go. So as long as you have the original ISO file, for most games, you're good to go. Now, the original Unreal Tournament, or it could have been Half-Life, I forget which, it wouldn't play until you updated it. I believe it was Unreal Tournament. It would still look for that CD and it wouldn't use that. After you update your game files to the latest update available, you are able to just play it as is. Now, I don't condone piracy. If you can afford it, buy the game. They're like $10 on eBay. You can get some pretty good finds. Now, I highly encourage you, if you do buy a game on eBay and it's an old CD-ROM, make a copy of that CD-ROM. Make an exact ISO of that so that you have it digitally forever. That way, if the disc cracks, eventually you get CD rot, whatever you have, make sure you have a backup of it. Save your CD key. Don't lose that. Don't throw out the physical paper or anything that has that on there. And you should be good to go. Now, luckily, in the age that we are, you can download almost any game from back in the day, and you have that physical copy digitally. I do recommend, do the right thing, pay for it. You're gonna feel better at least. You're not actually stealing. Now, if you still have the capability or the option to pay the developer, do that. That's the way to actually go. But if you don't, if you can't find the system online, find it on eBay, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. You're going to find them out there cheap. All right, let's go ahead and let's do a quick technology test and just see what comes out of this. Yeah, look at that. You got this giant metallic blob. It's testing your 3D capability of your system here. That's a little interesting. Let's see, where is it telling me to go? Do I got to go this way, I believe? All right, we are inside. You can see different shading, the shadows, the fire burning. Diffuse shading, so yeah, we've got some shadows under there. Specular shading. All fairly interesting. Just to give you an idea of what the capabilities were back then. Environment mapping, so that you can see the reflection, not of me, which, you can't ask for everything, but you do see the environment around you reflecting in the teapot here, so that's kind of interesting. Got bump mapping here, so looks like it's a little texture on the teapot. Translucency and transparency. Okay, so that's cool. You can actually go through it. That's something different. Multiply and add blending. Little translucency there as well. All right, here we have particles. So this would be like a fountain. You got smoke and you've got sparkles. Sure. It's something different. Let's see what else we have. Fog. Here you go, models and fog. So that's everything we just saw. And you can walk into the fog here, and you're not going to see it until you're up close, just like fog. If anyone's ever driven in that, you should know. And we're at the end of the temple here. And yeah, that's kind of neat that this actually has a nice little benchmark for you to see all the new technology. Because back then, coming from Doom, Quake, stuff like that at the time, this was pushing the limits of GPUs back in the day. And it's really nice to just see what you can do. It'll give you an idea of what settings you need to pick for your video card. Like I said, back then, a 32 meg video card was about what you were probably going to get, 16 meg or even less. And you needed a pretty decent video card to get this thing running. And back in the day, it was not cheap. On video cards today, yeah, you're going to spend $1,200 on a new graphics card, or even more. You spend more on your GPU than you do the rest of your system sometimes, and it's just the way it is, because newer GPUs are practically an entire computer in themselves, and that's just where the technology went. Here's some more textures and blending, it said. Yeah, this is pretty cool that it shows you so much different stuff. Here's another cool thing. You got your reflective. Oh, you do actually see yourself in this reflection looking down. So that's kind of cool. You see the light coming from above. Oh, look at that. You can see the reflection from across the hall. So that's pretty good, considering this game came out 24 years ago. We're talking almost a quarter of a century ago. That's cool. You can see like a portal to the outside where that giant glob is. Pretty cool. What was this one called, if it's going to say? Portals. Okay, yeah. Portal. Years before Portal came out. Haze. I was just about to say, that looks like a haze. Another fog, this time filling the room instead of the lower part of the room. So you got dense fog, or you got more particle fog. Here we go with water, particles and texture. Go into the water. Can I get out of here? I hope so. There we go. That would really suck if they just locked you in there and you got to basically exit. Lens flare. This is another thing that this game did well. The J.J. Abrams effect came out of this game right here. That little choppy. It's not consistent, but it does have lens flare. Now, I don't know if that is a problem, or if it's, maybe it's supposed to be that way in the game. It was a little choppy there. Not that it was choppy, it was flickering, kind of like that. The animated lights are flickering. And I've got no baseline. I'd have to install the other video card and drivers and stuff to just see if it was different. But that's the problem I had with this video card. I couldn't get it to work with Serious Sam. It was giving me OpenGL errors. I had the latest drivers. I made sure everything was up to date, and it just wouldn't work. So I'm not going to toss this card. I'm probably going to put it back in here and mess around with some other things. The perfect use for this card is actually in this system right here. This system here will not accept an 8X GPU. It's got dual Pentium processors at 650 megahertz. I want to see if I can up that, get two 850s in there, and it'll just be screaming. It supports a whole gigabyte of RAM, which is great, but it doesn't support this video card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this card back in here eventually, and I'm going to take the Voodoo card, and it's going to go in this beast right here, and this is going to be my sick 1999 2000 gaming rig. This machine here I absolutely love. It was basically the same model gateway of the first computer I spent my own money on. Now, obviously, that was a Celeron 333 megahertz with 32 mega RAM and a 3 gig hard drive. Now that I'm 45, I've got money to spend. I went ahead and got this machine. It's got a 750 megahertz processor, 768 mega RAM, 120 gig SSD, and all the stuff I wish I could afford back then. So this is my top of the line Pentium 3 gaming system that isn't a server with dual CPUs. The only thing that would really help here is Quake 3, but it does help. This machine here is my absolute favorite vintage machine I own, only because it takes me right back to when I was like 20 years old. Right back. And not many other machines can do that. I have a pretty large collection of computers here, but this is what I owned. The first thing I spent my real money on was a gateway tower that looked exactly like this, but a lot more basic. So that's why this will always be my favorite computer, not the Apples, not the laptops or anything like that. I love them. I love all those computers, but this is the one that's got that little spot in my heart. So Stupid little rant, but that's how I feel. Now that we saw all that, let's just go ahead and do a quick load. Oh, I don't have any saved games in here. I forgot. I want to see how it actually plays the game, because this game would bog a system down when it just sends enemy after enemy after enemy in giant waves. You would feel your system just bogging down. So, new game. Let's do serious. I want to see how many they can throw at me. I'm going to die quick. I'm not even going to pretend that I'm slightly good at this game. Even though I put a lot of hours into it back in the day, I'm old. I hardly have time to make videos like this, let alone play video games. So here we are. I've only got the gun. Whoop. Where'd they go? So you see we got rain here, lightning striking in the background. Whoop. Gravity. That works. Alright, we have transitioned. Oh, okay. Transitioned inside. Will you die already? Okay. I just suck. I'm not going to blame it on the latency between the HDMI and the VGA. I'm sure there is some, but I'm not going to blame it on that. Okay. Maybe I'm thinking they're going to be coming at me harder because I chose the hardest. Oh, I just teleported, I think. Oh, it stopped raining. Okay, so I thought it was going to be a little harder because I chose the hardest setting, but I am in the first level. They're gonna go a little easy on you. There we go. Will it teleport me? Nope. This will teleport me. So I thought, nope. I was wrong. Oh, that's another cool thing I just noticed. You can actually shoot the walls. Now, they do go away. They're not going to keep that data persistent. So the open world that this shown you back 24 years ago was pretty cool. Now, there's a little screen tearing there. I don't know if that's because it's on the LCD or whatever. This was made for CRTs. But yeah, you have this giant open world, giant maps, and it was something that wasn't common back then. You had very confined maps on a very small area, and this thing you can just be walking for what feels like ever, just waiting to find the end of the map or the next level, you know, wherever you got to get. And okay, here you go, just having me kill everybody basically until we can go on. Nope, I'm dead. Whoopsie daisy. Alright, so I'm not going to be just playing the whole game here. I screwed up there. This is pretty cool anyways. The graphics are great. Everything about this game is great. The video card is just amazing for what it is. I think it does really hold up to all the hype for back in the day when, you know, video cards were just starting to become advanced. Now, they've always had high-end video cards back in the day when it was only text, and then we started using graphics for your operating system, and they had to get more memory, more colors, everything like that. And this was one of the early high-end graphics cards of its time, and it did pave the way for what we have today with NVIDIA and AMD. I almost said ATI. AMD. And it is just a little bit of technology archaeology here, looking at this old equipment, and I'm happy I found it. It was literally in a pile of junk PCI cards, and I saved it. That's what I love to do. I love saving these old computers. I love getting them fixed up and built up to spec, and I love showing you guys. So if you do like seeing videos like this, please give a sub. I'm very, very happy with how the channel's moving. I'm almost at 1,000 subs. I'll probably be there after I post this video, and I can't thank you guys enough. Leave a comment down below what you would like to see next. I have some videos in the pipeline that I'm working on right now, and I want to get more and more out as the weather starts getting colder and colder outside, because I'm not a fan of cold weather. So that's when I'm going to be staying inside, doing a lot more of these videos for you guys. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know if you have any ideas of what I should do differently on here. And should I go back to this in here? I think I will, mainly because I want to see how this thing performs in here. That'll be a different video too. So thank you for taking the time to watch. Thank you for subscribing, and let me know what you guys think. Take care.